All right, so today I hope to finish this chapter. Okay, so we have last time we stopped at rationalizing denominator with one term, right? Meaning at the bottom you only see one term, okay? Either one radical or one number. So what you need to do is just times top and bottom by the same radical that you see, right? But then if the denominator has a radical that can be simplified first, we do that first, okay? It can simplify your work, all right? Make your steps less. So as a review, right, we'll go over one question together. So for example, let's say if I want to do question B, okay? So of course you can times top and bottom by square root 20, but then I see 20, I can simplify it first, okay? So I'm going to simplify the denominator. Simplify first. Okay, so we'll try to take perfect square out, okay? Take pairs from the square root 20. So Geoffrey, what do you think? For square root 20, what can we take out?
2.
Yeah, very good. So I will have 2 on the outside, and what's left inside then? Geoffrey?
5.
Yeah. Right, so now we have outside numbers. See if we can reduce, right? 6 and 2, we can reduce into 1 and 3. Then let's do that, right? So it becomes 3 over root 2. Sorry, root 5. Now we can rationalize, right? So you can see this, the number at the bottom is smaller, right? So top and bottom times square root 5. The top will be 3 root 5. The bottom will be 5. And then you double check, right? The denominator, right? 2 things you need to check. Make sure you don't have square root in the denominator. Second thing is you don't have perfect square in the square root. Okay, so let me write that down. No radical. And then in the square root, no perfect squares. Okay, so once you got these 2 conditions, right? Once you met these 2 conditions, then you know that's the correct answer. Okay, then you can box that. That's your final answer. Okay, can you raise your hand if you understand this question? This should be a review, okay, of what we did last time. All right, very good. So the other ones I will let you try now, okay? So all the rules you can apply. Outside, outside, inside, inside, you can reduce. And then if the denominator can be simplified, it's simplified first, okay? For question C, right, you can split, okay, before you begin, right? It's the same. If you have multiply and divide on the inside, you can split it and then go from there. Right, so I think I'll give you about 5 minutes to work on these questions, okay? And then I'll assign some of you to write your steps out, all right? So once you finish, you can raise your hand.
Mr. Jason.
Yeah, Wilson.
4b, is that a 3? And then 5 squared is an 8?
Oh, the final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3. It's a 3.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, because it's 3 times square root 5, so 3 root 5. All right, Henry, which question are you working on now?
G.
Question E?
G.
Oh, G, okay. And how about you, Mackenzie? What question are you on? Mackenzie? Okay, question E, okay. Okay, if you see your name, you can start writing on the screen. Oh, Aaron, what happened?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I just like tried to fill in the circle and like that thing just like started writing.
No?
Yeah. I don't have the annotate thing on my Zoom, so like I can't erase it.
No? Let me see. If I can erase for you. Eraser. I can't erase your work.
Oh, I think you have control of it. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, here. Oh. Okay, you can continue. Okay, so everyone else done? Okay, then Mackenzie, you can tell me what to write. Okay, then I'll write it out for you. Okay, can you turn on your mic and let me know?
So my first step is
Yeah.
4 on the 4 root 5.
So 4, you can just tell me what to write. So 4,
No, 4 over 4 root 5.
4 over 4 root 5.
Yes.
Okay, how'd you get there? Where's the 4 root 5 come from? What happened to the 8 and 80?
The root 80, I just trying to simplify.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, but then there's an 8 outside, right?
Oh yes.
So what do you do with the 8 on the outside?
So it is 32 root 5.
Yes, yeah, okay. You need to have a outside will become 32. Okay, and then
And multiply by root 5 over root 5.
okay, so multiply by root 5 over root 5, and then
And then there's 4 root 5 over 32.
just 32.
Very hard.
Okay.
So my bottom one, 32 root 5, or
At the bottom, we have three things, right? We have the 32, we have the root 5, and the root 5. So they should all multiply together.
so it's 32 root 25.
What's root 25?
What?
What's the answer for square root of 25?
Is root 5. So it is 160.
Yeah, so 32 times 5, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then becomes
And then it's 4 root 5 over 160.
160. And then anything else?
And then 4 and 160 cancel out
Mm-hmm.
to root 5 over 4.
Over 4?
40.
40, yeah, okay. Okay, so Tony, you're done?
Yeah,
You have steps?
for that one, for
Yeah.
H,
Yeah.
I just, oh,
You
hold
did
on.
in one step?
I just wrote it.
Yeah, do you have steps in between how you get there?
Yeah,
Okay, can you show the steps too?
so because 6 and 10 has a common number, which is 2. So I just did 2 times 3 is 6 and 2 times 5, I think. Yeah, it was okay. And then I got 3 root 3 and 4 root 5, right?
Mhm.
And then my next step was because we want to get the rational number, right?
Mhm.
So I just did times root 5 over root 5, and then I got 15
Mhm.
or root 15, and that's a 3 over here. And then I got 20 because 4 times 5.
Okay.
And then from here, I just leave it as is because it's already a rational number.
Mhm.
And 3 and 20 does not like go in together. So I leave it in this form.
Very good. Okay, thank you. All right, so for the steps, I will look over the steps right now, see if there's anything we can make the steps faster, right? So let's go over question A. So that one, nothing much you can do at first, right? You just multiply by the same square root. Okay, so that one looks fine. Okay, answer is just root 2. Question C. We could simplify the square root 8 first, right? So that's why you get a 2 square root 2 and the bottom, right? This one. And then you multiply top and bottom by square root 2. So you get root 10 on the top. The bottom is 2 times 2. Yeah, root 10 over 4. Okay, very good. Yeah, and question D looks good too. Okay, we simplify the root 8. So makes it 4 root 2 times top and bottom by root 2. So that's 8 and root 2. Okay, so all these are A, B, C, D are pretty easy. Start with question E. It gets a bit bigger, right? So before we start multiplying, we should reduce, right? For the 9 and 12. So Angeline reduced that already, makes it into 3 and 4. Okay, so that's where 3 and 4 come from, I think, right? And then how did you get the 61, Angeline? Square root 61.
It was, I didn't write the first part because it was too much to write, but I simplified it because it was like 3 over 4 root 244.
Okay, so let me see. So it's 3.
Oh wait, I think I wrote it wrong.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be 8 root 61.
Okay, so let's add one more step here. Okay. So in here, this should be 244, right? Inside 244. No, actually, how do we fix this? Let me see. Okay, let's see, erase this part. Okay, so you can tell me what I will, okay, let me reduce that first. So we have 3 over 4 root 244. And what do you do now?
You reduce it more, so it's 3 over 8 root 61.
So you took the 2 out, right? And then?
And then you times it by root 61.
Okay, so top and bottom times root 61. And then?
And then it'll be 3 root 61 and 8 times 61, so 488.
8 times 61 is, yeah, 480. Okay. Yeah, you got the final answer correct. Okay. Good. Does anyone have questions about E? Okay, so if you can reduce fraction first, reduce that first. And then now for Mackenzie, so this one we went over together, right? So simplify the 80 first, and then times it by root 5, and then do reduce, okay? So that one's okay. Okay, so next one for Wilson. So he did the multiply top and bottom by square root 14, I think, right? And then you have 28 at the bottom, and then 98 in the square root at the top. And then you simplify that into 7 root 2. And then 4 times 7 is 28 as well. And I guess you reduce them, right? Get you through 2. Okay, so for this question, for question G, if we do it a little bit differently, if you look at the original question, okay? So Wilson, take a look, question G.
Yeah, I see it.
So, yeah, so anything we can reduce first before we multiply root 14.
4 and 2 or 7 and 14.
Yeah, so if I do that first, what does it become? Can you tell me?
Do you just take it from the top and the bottom at once?
Yeah, if you reduce the 2 and the 4, it becomes what?
2 and then square root of 7 and then 14, square root of 14.
Yeah. And how about the 7 and 14 if you also reduce that?
Then it's just 2 and then square root of 2.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see right away we get to here. Makes your numbers are much smaller, right? Now, if after reduce, then you can do your rationalizing, right? So you just need to times root 2 instead of root 14. And then after that will be 2 root 2 over 2, and then get you the same answer, right? So that's why I always say, if possible, always simplify first. Yeah, Naomi. Okay, so next one we went over already. Okay, that one's good too. Okay, does anyone have questions? Okay, if you already copied down all the work, okay, you can raise your hand. And Tony, do you have questions?
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah.
For G, right? You can also simplify the inside the root number inside, so like root 7, right? And root 14.
Yeah, 7 and 14 it can become 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the square root of 1 is just 1, so basically it disappears.
Yeah.
So that's what we did in the green box. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
That way, yeah, makes the number smaller. Okay, please raise your hand if you got everything down, and then we're gonna move on to next page. So check your steps with the answers here. And if there's any mistakes, okay, you can write down the correct steps. All right, so let's move on to next part, right? It's still rationalizing the denominator, okay? But instead of one term, we are going to look at two terms, okay? So we have square root plus square root, or square root minus square root, or it could be one of them is square root, the other one is not, right? Like this one is square root plus 1, right? So that counts as two terms. So if you want to rationalize that, and you do it by multiplying by square root 6, okay? Don't copy this, right? I'm just showing you. If I do the same way we did, then the denominator you need to share, right? Share the root 6 in. So you get 6 plus root 6. So you still have square root in the denominator, then it's not rationalized. Okay, rational means no square root at all. Okay, so if I just multiply by square root, it doesn't work. So we need something else to help us. So what we need is what we learned last time, the formula, and which was the question Tony asked me at the beginning of class, right? The third formula. So like question B, if two brackets that are the same except 1 plus, 1 minus, after you apply the third formula, you can see the square root, they all disappeared because of the square, right? You square the first one, square the second one, right? It will cancel out the square root. So those two brackets, they are called conjugates. Okay, so on this page 26, you can write it here, okay? These two brackets, they are called conjugates. Conjugates means they are almost the same, but then one is adding, one is subtracting, okay? Opposite signs, okay? Conjugate. So let's look at the question that we are working on. So the method for this, right? If you get the two terms, is called multiply by conjugate. So let's try question A here. So the denominator, you have root 6 plus 1, right? So the conjugate for that will be the minus. So we will be multiplying top and bottom by root 6 minus 1. Root 6 minus 1. Okay, any question so far? So the denominator, when you multiply them, right, is 2 brackets, they are opposite signs. So you use the third formula. You square the first one, square the second one, okay? So the first one is a root 6. The second one is the 1. I should put a square here. Yeah. Okay, and then for the numerator, you need to share, right? Expand. You get 2 root 6 minus 2. Okay, can you raise your hand if you understand up to here? How do we get here? Okay, this is called conjugate. If you see a root 6 minus 1, then you need to multiply by root 6 plus 1, okay? It has to be opposite sign. Okay, Mackenzie, Naomi, Wilson, do you have questions up to here? Wilson? Okay, how about you, Naomi? Are you here? Naomi, are you back? Okay. All right, so let's continue. So the numerator is 2 root 6 minus 2, okay? Denominator, if we simplify it, square will cancel out the square root, right? It'll be 6 minus 1. Okay, so 2 root 6 minus 2 over 5. Right, so, and then now we double check again, right? Denominator has no radical. Okay, and then you check inside the square roots, you don't have perfect square. Okay, nothing can be taken out from the root 6, then we know this is our final answer. Okay, now on the side, okay, I want you to make a note. If you, at the end, you get something like this, okay? Let's say 2 root 6. I'm just making up, okay? Minus 3, okay? Over 4. Okay, if your answer end up something like this, you cannot, okay? So cannot simplify. For example, you see, oh, there's a 2 on the outside. So let's reduce that, okay? And then turn it into root 6 minus 3 over 2. Okay, this is wrong, okay? So this is first thing. So let's write it here, okay? Make a note, okay? Special note. So this is first one, okay? You cannot reduce that. But if you get something like this one, let's say if I have 2 root 6 minus 2 over 4. Now, because both of the terms on the top can be reduced by the same number, right? All the numbers on the outside, the 2, the 2, the 4, they can all be reduced at the same time, then it is okay, right? So this will become 1, that will become 1, this will be 2. So if you want to reduce, you have to be fair. Every term needs to be able to reduce by the same number. Okay, so at the end, it will become root 6 minus 1 over 2. So this one is okay. Okay, this one is no. This one is okay. All right, so sometimes you need to reduce, sometimes it's very tempting to reduce, right? But sometimes you can't do it if you do too much, right? Even though everything's right, but your final step is wrong. Okay. So please copy this down, okay? Raise your hand when you finish writing it. So remember when you are doing the homework, right? You want to check if it should be the final answer that you box. Double check, okay? Don't cancel too much. Okay, if you finish writing the notes, please raise your hand. Okay, Naomi, are you back yet? Still not here, Naomi? Okay. All right, Tony, do you need more time?
Nope.
Okay, then can you tell me for question B, what's the conjugate that we need to multiply?
We need to multiply √3 minus plus √2.
Why do you think it should be plus?
Because we're trying to find the conjugate. Oh, it should be minus then.
Why? Why should it be minus now?
Because the one example we did before says minus.
Huh? The example before says minus.
Yeah, there's like this thing.
Don't look at the example before. We should look at the question we are working on. What's telling you that we should use plus or minus?
Well, technically, because this is already a positive number, we want to get rid of the positive, or we want to cancel out.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so you look at the denominator in the question. If the denominator has a plus, then you use a minus. If the denominator has a minus, then use a plus. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go from here. And let's have Enya. What happens in the denominator now?
For the denominator, it multiplies into 3.
Okay, 3.
So basically, √3 to the power 2.
Okay, √3 to the power 2.
And minus √2 to the power 2.
Okay. And Isabella, what about numerator?
3 and then square root 3 minus 3, 2.
Yeah, square root 2. Okay, so the 3 needs to share with both terms, okay, in the numerator. All right, next part. What should we do to simplify it, Wilson?
For the bottom, it's 3 and then minus 2.
Yeah, very good. And then the top, let's keep it the same for now. 3√2. Okay, and Henry, what do we do now?
We get rid, actually, no.
Anything to do at the denominator?
Oh yeah, we can subtract, sorry.
Yeah, so what do we get?
We get 1.
Yeah, do we need to write a 1 then?
Oh, we can just get rid of the fraction. It's
Yeah.
just 3 times cube, square root of 3 minus 3 to the times square root of 2.
Yeah.
And that should be it.
Yes, okay, so if it's over 1, there's nothing to write, okay? You don't need to write over 1. It's invisible, okay? So for this one, easier, okay? You don't need to worry about simplifying, reducing fraction, but just make sure you watch out for reducing, okay? The note I mentioned on the left side. when can you reduce? Okay, you have to be fair. Everyone gets to divide by the same thing. Okay, so I'll let you guys try these 4 questions before the break. Okay, I'll give you about 6-7 minutes. Okay, and I will check your answer before the break. You can raise your hand when you finish these 4. Okay, so Wilson, we are just doing the bottom 4 questions, okay? Okay, I just noticed the lettering is a bit weird. Okay, it goes from A, C, D, F. Okay, so don't worry about that. Aaron, which question are you working on?
I'm still on D.
Okay. Yeah, so for this question, I will just ask for the final answer, okay? Because if try to write all the steps out with the mouse, I think too much work, right? For my a bit difficult. All right, so let's take a look at question A first. Okay, Wilson, what's your final answer for A?
This might be a bit weird. It's 1 minus square root 2 over 2.
Okay.
Oh no, not only it's like 1 minus 1 is by itself. It's not like over 2. Yeah.
So 1 minus root 2 over 2, like that?
Yes. Yeah, like that.
Okay. And Bernice, what's your answer for C?
I got -2 root 3 plus 3.
No denominator?
No.
Okay. And Aaron, when you finish D, you can let me know your answer. Does anyone have something? Yeah, Aaron, you want to say something?
I think I'm a bit confused with that one, like for D.
Mm-hmm.
Like I multiplied it by 2 and then square root 6. And then I think it's -1.
Yeah, yeah, you should do the -1. Very good.
Yeah, so I did that. And then like I basically multiplied the 2 and then square root 6 with the 2 square root 6.
Yeah.
And then I got 24.
24.
Yeah. And then it would be 24 minus 1 on the numerator.
Okay. So
Yeah,
bottom-
and then the bottom would be 2 square root 6, and then like to the power of 2,
mhm.
and then minus 1 to the power of 2.
Okay, okay. So you have the final answer or no? Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. So like that, right? For the denominator.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead. For the numerator, make sure you need to multiply both terms. Right?
Oh, okay.
Right, because you have two terms on the right side, right? So you need to share. Okay, when you got the final answer, let me know. Okay, anyone else has different answer for A and C? Geoffrey, do you have anything different for A and C?
I got for A, I got root 2 minus 2 over negative 2.
Okay, root 2 minus 2 over negative 2. Yeah.
Wait, Mr. Jason. Yeah, I think Jeffrey's right. I just redid the question and I got it wrong the first time. So
So root 2 minus 2 over negative 2.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll go over that. And then Jenny, anything different for A and C?
For C, I got 3 minus root 6.
3 minus root 6. Okay. Anything else? Anyone has something different?
Jason,
Yes.
I got the answer for D.
Yeah. What is it?
It's 2 and then bracket 12 minus square root 6.
12 minus square root 6
Yeah, and then over 23.
over 23. Like that?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else want to add to the answers? Okay, Shanir, what's your answer for F? Shanir, are you there? Okay, or Isabella, are you there?
I didn't finish the question because I got confused.
Then can you tell me what you need to multiply with?
Multiply like 2 square root 3 plus square root 2.
Yeah, over the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, the beginning step is most important one, and you got that one right. After that, you just expand. Okay, it's all right. So that's let me see. Yeah, Shanir, yeah, F. What's your answer?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I got 3 square root 6 plus 3 over 5. I'm not sure if that's right. I haven't checked it over yet.
Okay, no problem. We're gonna go over the steps now. Okay, then you'll find out. All right, so let's start with question A. Question A is just multiply by, check with your steps, okay, by the conjugate. So it should be the minus. Numerator is just 1, right? 1 times the two things, so it should stay the same, okay? So this one, not too bad, right? Denominator, you square each of them. Okay, you square the root 2, you square the 2. So you have square root 2 minus 2 on the top. Bottom is 2 minus 4, right? So it simplifies into root 2 minus 2 over negative 2. Now for this one, if you really want to simplify the fraction, Remember, I told you you have to be fair, right? So you cannot just say, okay, let's cancel out these two. Right? If you want to reduce, you have to reduce for both of them. Okay. So far, this one is the right one, right? It matches. But if you really want to reduce, then you can split the fraction. You have √2, right? Need to divide it by -2. And then the other one, -2 divided by -2. So that will give you +1. Okay, so because for the square root 2, it has an invisible 1 there. So 1 doesn't do anything, just stay there. So you don't really cancel out much things here, right? You sort of reduce the 2 and 2. But then the other one still has a fraction. So it doesn't really look that nice, but it's still correct, okay? And then if you reverse the order, you put the 1 in the front, then it will become what Wilson said at first. So basically these two are the same, okay? They're both correct, but to leave it in the better form, okay? We would usually answer key is in this way, okay? In one fraction, but it's not wrong, okay? For the other answer. Okay, and then question C, you will multiply by √3 minus 2, right? √3 minus √2. So denominator is just 3 minus 2. And then the top is 3 minus √6. 3 minus 2 is 1. So just like the previous question on the top, if it's over 1, you don't need to write it. So you just leave it as 3 minus √6. Okay, this one. Any questions for question C? Okay, let's look at question D. Question D, denominator, we already wrote it out. Okay, numerator, 2 √6 times itself again will be 4 times 6. Right, and then minus 2 √6. Simplify that. 24 minus 2 √6. And then 24 minus 23. Sorry, 24 minus 1. And then that gives you 24 minus 2 √6 over 23. You could leave the answer like this, okay? And I think Aaron did is he factored out the 2, because the 2 and 24, they can both be divided by 2. So he took the 2 out, but you don't need to do that, okay? Because there's nothing for the 2 to reduce with the bottom, right? 2 and 23, we can't really do anything. So there's no need to take it out, okay? So you could just leave it there. Got it, Aaron?
Yes, I understand it.
Okay. All right, last one. Okay, last one. The denominator, you square each of them. You get 4 times 3 is 12 minus 2, right? Numerator, you multiply in, you get 6 √6 plus 3 times 4, 3 times 2, right? So you have 6 √6 plus 6 over what? 10. Okay, so remember when you reduce, you have to be fair. So this time we can be fair, right? 6, 6, and 10, they can all be divided by 2. So it's fine, right? And then that will lead you to the final answer. All right, so let's have a break. Okay, if you have questions, you can ask me during the break. We'll start the class again at 2:55. Okay, I'll see you then.